Good morning, everybody. This is Raul Torres. Welcome to our Facebook Live presentation of Let's Talk. We'll kick it off with this number one hit from Bachman Turner Overdrive from way back a long time ago, the 70s. I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday morning. Today we've got a topic that you're going to absolutely love if you're a small business owner because it affects everybody. Nobody runs away from this issue we're going to talk about today. All right? Yeah, we're going to take care of your business. Just tune in. Don't go anywhere for the next 30 minutes. Get your paper and pencil or pen ready and take some good notes. By the way, everybody, if you have an interest in getting a transcript or a summary of today's presentation, feel free to put your name and email address, or I'm sorry, your email address, and post on our comment section, and someone on our team will make sure you get a copy of those notes by this afternoon. All right, we're going to get started in 9, 8. That's right. 2 and 1. Let's go. All right, welcome. I am your host, Raul Torres, CPA. I've been doing this for 32 plus years. I love it. I love putting money in people's pockets. I love to see the smile on their face when we finish that tax return and they are so thrilled with the results. All right. Thank you for joining us today. Today is Tuesday, May the 19th, 2026. And today we're going to talk about something that is a problem for every small business owner out there in America and throughout the world. But very few actually ever solve this problem. And you know what that is? Not having enough time. How many times have you heard yourself say, if I only had more time? It is a problem. It's like an epidemic. It just beats every small business owner down. Today, we're going to talk about that problem. All right? Oh, you can ignore the phone. It just means that we're busy. All right? By the way, we would like to invite you to our grand opening. We're having an official grand opening of our new office facilities right here at 3046 Holly Road in Corpus Christi. If you haven't driven by, come on by. You'll see a brand new building. We're working on landscaping right now. And our general contractor just did an amazing job. You're invited to come and visit, say hello, and get acquainted. If you're one of our clients, thank you so much for trusting us. Thank you so much for placing that trust with us to help you manage and improve your business. I know we don't always get it right, but by golly, we're going to continue to strive for that level of perfection. And we believe that if we pursue perfection in everything we do, each and every day, that we're going to catch excellence. That's my motto. That's our mindset. And so come on by, get acquainted. June 1st from 2 to 5 p.m. If you're in the neighborhood, feel free to stop by. We're going to have some great desserts. We're going to have some great snacks, and we'll give you a tour of the building. And by golly, just have a great time. Just come by and say hello. Just honor us, but with your presence, if nothing else. All right? We'd love to have you. My staff and I are so excited. We've been waiting for this day many, many years, and God has been very good to us, and we want to give him all the glory and all the credit, because without him, nothing would be possible. Nothing. So again, my name is Raul Torres. Welcome to Let's Talk. Let's get on with the show. Why is it that small business owners don't have enough time? Can anyone out there post on your comment sections why it is we don't have enough time? All right, let me tell you why. This is what small business owners are facing right now. You are the CEO. You are the salesperson. You are the customer service department. You are the bookkeeper, the payroll manager, the HR guy or woman. You are probably even the janitor. You clean up after yourself, throw out the trash. And at the end of the day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, most small business owners are what? Exhausted, overwhelmed, and wondering, why does it feel like I'm working harder than ever, but I'm not getting ahead? Why does it feel that I'm caught in a net? Well, you're not alone. We're going to deal with that issue. And if you're listening and writing these things down, you're not probably going to agree with a lot of this stuff. But I can guarantee you, I've been down that journey. I've traveled that path, and I have climbed the mountain. I know exactly what your emotions are. I've been there, done that. And all I can tell you is trust the advice. It's called faith. Just trust it. And your world will change. Your business will change. Your happiness will change. And you're going to accomplish things that perhaps you haven't even imagined. If you're willing to have the courage to change how you run your business. All right. So today we're going to break this down. We're going to talk about why this problem happens. We're going to talk about the real cost of you not doing anything. That's right. The real cost. There is a cost by doing things the way you're doing them, my friend. And our purpose is to help you find a better way, an easier way, a happier way, and more exciting way. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how you fix it. The happier results, the more money in your pocket, the smile bigger on your face. It's all there. So let's get into it. All right. All right. The number one reason why do business owners struggle with time? The problem isn't that you don't have enough time. Just accept that. Guess what? Because your 24 hours are identical to my 24 hours. Your 24 hours are identical to Elon Musk's 24 hours. Your 24 hours are the same as everybody else. So by saying if I only had more time, which is impossible, isn't the answer. The problem is how you use your time. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the problem that we have as small business owners is me, the small business owner. I am my own problem. All right? Don't expect government to come in here and solve your problem. Don't expect your friend to come in and solve your problem. Don't expect your wife to solve your problem. Don't expect your mom and your dad to come in here and solve your problem. It's your problem. And that's the beauty of it. Because it is our problem as small business owners, we can fix it. It's so exciting. All right. So every business owner gets 24 hours. So let's not talk about if I had more time, because that is not the answer. Let's focus on rather on what really matters of how we use our time. There's this one client that we have about 4 years ago. He had a great idea. Great idea. He says, I'm going to do this in Corpus. Nobody else is doing it. And I'm going to make all this money and I'm going to do very well. And sure enough, he launched it. And at the end of the year, he came in to do his tax returns. This was year one. Oh, he did really well. Yeah. He had a big write-off, like $180,000 write-off because of the equipment he bought. And he showed a loss, but business was great. And so when I said to him to tell me, how did you run the business? He says, well, he says, I drive the truck, I make the deliveries, I do the pickups, I issue out the invoices, I pay the bills, I make the sales calls, I get the contract signed, and he went on to all the stuff that he does. And he says, and I'm really, really tired. I says, okay, well, that's not working out the way you want. Perhaps you'll consider, bringing some more people on board. So what happened? Fast forward year two. Oh, business is great. End of the year, same story. He's doing the same things, making more money, but has no time. Year three, same story. Then he sells. Why? Too tired, burnt out. Life isn't fun anymore. I've heard that story many times. Small business owners do not focus on high value activities. They focus on the immediate need of the moment. That produces a very low rate of return on time. Instead, small business owners are doing things, instead of focusing on high value activities, what do? Answer phones, answer emails, handling small tasks like throwing out the trash, putting out fires, making deliveries, doing the packaging. They're busy, but they're not growing their business. They're working in their business from sunrise to sunset and beyond, but they're not working on their business. You know what they're doing? Small business owners, you know what we normally do, and we think we're so smart, is this. We work at a $10 or $12 hour job doing things like data entry, scheduling, responding to emails, administrative stuff. And then there's some people who get to do operational things like managing the business. And they're doing $100 an hour stuff, which is a whole lot better. But where you and I should be really focusing our time, and I'm talking to my daughter, if you're listening today, Princess, you and I and your brother need to focus on the $1,000 per hour stuff. You heard me right. $1,000 per hour, where we can make what? 5, 8, 12,000 a day if we focus on these tasks. The strategy development, the growth planning, the decision making, the developing strategic partnerships and relationships, the $1,000 per hour task. Most business owners are stuck at the $10, $12 an hour or the $100 an hour work. Very, very few ever get to the $1,000 per hour level. Very, very few. And that's where the problem really begins. Folks, my name is Raul Torres. I'm a CPA. I've been doing this for over 32 years. We're located here in Corpus Christi, Texas, right here at 3046 Holly Road. We're local. We've been around. We understand small business. You might say, yeah, I'm an expert. I'm a very good expert because we've done some really good stuff that has changed small business owners' entire perspective of how they look at their business. And if you're finding yourself at a situation where you're struggling like a dog chasing his tail, you're working harder, working longer, but somehow your bank account isn't growing, your net value or worth isn't growing, then you and I should talk. We give everybody a free 15-minute consultation. Take advantage of it. There is an answer to any problems you're having. That I can guarantee you. But you got to talk with someone, because chances are very low you're going to figure this out yourself. But anyway, that invitation is out there for anybody who wants it. All right? So let's go down to the second problem. The second problem is what? Doing those low-level jobs. The second problem that many business owners have is they wear too many hats. You know, you know the ones. There's a sales rep, there's a sales manager, they're the operations, they're the delivery guy, they're the bookkeeper, they're the payroll guy or girl. They throw out. They're the janitor. They do all of this stuff because they think like I used to think. They think, well, wait a minute. If I do it, I don't have to pay anybody. And I save money. Yes, you do. You do save money, but guess what? You're never going to grow that much. You're going to be stuck doing those things. And those things don't grow your company. You want to make a living? Do that. You want to become wealthy? Stop doing that. Think differently. All right? Too many hats. The trap. I got to do all this stuff. No, you don't. Stop it right now. All right? I remember one time back in 2003, I spent $1,000 to go hear this lady speak in San Antonio, Mary Beth, whatever her name was, short little girl from Chicago, and she was telling us, the people that were there that Saturday, uh, and advising us because she was a wealth coach, and she challenged all of us who didn't have employees. She says, if you want to grow your business, go hire your first employee. Free up your time to do other things. And I said to myself, after I paid the $1,000, I said, that I had to borrow, by the way, I said, how in the world am I going to afford a full-time employee? So I came back home. I did it anyway. Blind faith, and the Lord just allowed me to do it. I did it anyway. I hired my first full-time employee. And to my astonishment, that year, I made more money than I had made the previous 5 years. Combined. This stuff works. It's real. All right. Let's get back to the show. All right. So what happens? All right. The owners get stuck doing all this stuff. They're very busy, but they're low value activities. Look, if your business cannot run without you, you don't have a business. You have a job. That's just the honest truth, folks. I don't care what name is on the truck. I don't care what name is on the check. You don't have a business. You're just an employee of another employer because you're doing stuff that pays hourly. 10, 12, 15, 20 bucks an hour. That's not your best path to success. And usually you got all the stress too to go on top of it. That's not worth the pay. That's all I can tell you. Third thing, you know, most small business owners, ladies and gentlemen, think that if I do it myself, man, I'm saving all this money. No, there's a thing called an opportunity cost. Maybe you know about it, maybe you don't, and it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, there is an opportunity cost. By you doing that $10, $12, $15 an hour job task, by you doing that, you're giving away $1,000 an hour, $500 an hour, $300 an hour. You're giving that away for this other stuff, 10, 15, 12, 20 bucks an hour. All right. You're losing revenue. Why? Because nobody's out selling. When you're throwing out the trash, when you're sweeping the floor, when you're packaging the package, when you're putting the postage on it, when you're taking it to the post office or to UPS or wherever, FedEx for shipment, folks, you're an hourly employee. You're losing revenue because you're not busy doing selling. You're not networking. You're not growing. This costs you thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands per year. That's just the honest reality. Look, the other thing, by doing yourself the favor of doing all these things, you don't have time for decision making. You rush your decisions. If you do make a decision, you rush. You don't plan. All right. The number one problem facing small business owners, apart from this here, another major problem is small business owners, we're not very good planners. In fact, if I find 1 out of 80 or 90 people, that's pretty good, because small business owners don't like planning. They live check to check. They live week to week. They live whatever, day by day. Yet it's the planning that makes everything go. All right. And lastly, oh my gosh, another major point, burnout. Talk about burnout. I mean, you work from sunrise to sunset and beyond, go to bed at 10, 11, 12 at night because you're busy doing paperwork or other stuff, and, and you call that a life? That's not the way to live. There is a better way. Burnout will burn you out for sure, and it'll leave you nothing left to enjoy life. And eventually, like my friend our client who decided to sell, everything would just shut down because you've done it. I mean, you've had it. It's over with. All right. Another major issue is tax and financial mistakes that small business owners make. All right. So when you're doing all this stuff, trying to save money, not hiring people, you're going to make mistakes, especially when you're tired, especially when you're doing this at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's just a matter of time and how frequently. This will cost you tens of thousands of dollars. All right. How do you fix this problem? Let's wrap it up. Folks, how do you fix? You've got to identify your highest value role. What is the one thing I do that generates the most revenue? That is what is the one thing I do that reduces my expenses? What is the one thing I do that brings in the most money? And typically for small business owners, it's sales. Sales will cure a lot of problems for small business owners. The next one is strategy that generates the sales. And the third one, maybe even the most important of all, is building relationships with others in the community. Folks, that is the essence of a small business owner. Sales, strategy, and relationships. You know, I tell our staff, we're not in the accounting business. We're not even in the tax business or the payroll business. We're in the people business, in the relationship business, because what we do impacts real people. And we need to relate with that. We need to empathize with that. We need to understand that. All right? So, how you fix it? Understand where your most valuable activity is. Second thing, get rid of, delegate all these low-level activities like throwing out trash, packaging packages, answering phone, blah, 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 blah. Okay? If you're doing bookkeeping, why? Why are you doing bookkeeping? Outsource it. Folks, there's people out there willing to do your bookkeeping for $150 a month. Now remember, a bookkeeping isn't necessarily accounting, but hey, if you're happy, knock yourself out. You shouldn't be doing your own bookkeeping. Payroll. Oh my gosh, how many people do their own payroll? Say, man, I'm saving $250 a month. Really? No, you're not saving $250 a month, my dear friend. You're losing $1,000 an hour because you're not out there growing your business because you're busy doing payroll. All right. Delegate, trust, train. That's where you start gaining your life back. All right. Third step. Every business needs to have a system, a process of how things are done. From how you invoice a client, how you make a delivery, how you answer a phone call, how you do this, how you do that. All those major activities that ensure that the quality of your work, the sales of presentation, everything works to its best possible manner. And that's your job. You're the owner. At least you're supposed to be. All right? Outsource it. If you're not a good salesman, folks, I one time hired a friend of mine because I couldn't close a sale. I wasn't very good. And I said to him, listen, I'll hire you. You can have 50% of the sales. Just close it for me. That's all you need to do. And I sat there and I listened to him and I watched him day in, day out, month in, month out, year in, year out. And eventually, guess what? I learned. And my life changed. That's right. It changed. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to be honest with yourself. Let's roll. If you need help, get it. Outsource payroll, outsource accounting, outsource sales if you have to. Just get the problem solved. And you will reduce mistakes. You will reduce time. You'll have extra time to focus on the more higher value activities. And your stress level will go all the way down. And life will be fun. People say, when are you going to retire? And I said, retire for what? I'm having the greatest time in my life. I love it. I got great people to work with. We have a brand new facility God has provided. Why would I leave everything that's going so well? And we have some amazing clients. Oh no, this life is wonderful. Lastly, think like a CEO, not an employee. Stop thinking like an employee. Stop saying what needs to be done today. Start saying what needs to be done to move my business forward, or what moves my business forward. Now you're thinking exponential growth. If you know who Grant Cardone says, a few years back he came out with this program called 10X. If you're not familiar with it, read his book. It's an amazing mind-opening idea of why do you settle for little when you can have it all? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My time's up in 2 minutes. I'm your host, Raul Torres, CPA. Been doing this over 32 years right here in Corpus Christi. We service the coastal band, and we have clients in Florida. We have clients in Virginia. We have clients throughout the state of Texas, from the very south end of Texas to all the way up north. Folks, it's been an honor talking to you today about these world problems. I mean, real world problems. All right? It really is. When a client, let me wrap up with this. Your time is your most valuable asset. Whether you sell real estate, where you're an electrician, you're a mechanic, you're a plumber, whether you own a store, a retail outlet, or a restaurant, or any other type of legal business, your time is your most valuable asset. And you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. And therefore, how you use your time is the key to how big your business can grow. If you're wearing too many hats, that means you're doing too many things that don't pay you $1,000 an hour. And if you feel like, how am I going to do this? I'm already tired working from sunrise to sunset. And if you feel you want to change, just like I did some years ago, I needed a change, and the Lord opened my mind and my heart to understand things differently, to look at things differently. I invite you to come talk with us. You don't have to do this alone. Everybody needs help. Everybody does. It has been a pleasure talking to you about your business, about my business. Let's make a deal. We'll give you free time to talk to us. Right? Free time. Won't cost you a penny. And I guarantee you one thing. You will walk away with more information in 15 minutes than you've learned the last 3 to 5 years. I guarantee you that. And the reason I say that, Because I've had several people tell me, Mr. Torres, I've learned more in 15 minutes than I've learned the last few years. So, again, if you want help, you're tired of the rat race, you want to grow your business, you want to become wealthier, you want to have fun again, come see us. Give us a call, 361-854-0822, or just Google Raul Torres CPA. Everything is online. Everything you want to know about us. Raul Torres CPA. Just Google it. We invite you to come and take a look. Come by and see us. And again, if you're in the neighborhood on June the 1st from 2 to 5, come on by, say hello. We'll have some good pastries and some snacks, and we can get acquainted. Again, if you want a copy of today's presentation, drop your email address inside the comment section. All right, drop your email address inside the comment section, and one of our staff will make sure you get a copy of that delivered to your email. All right, my name is Raul Torres. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Let's Talk, where we just talked about business and taxes. Now, I want to give you one very simple but powerful tax deduction. Ready? The IRS says this, that you can decide that any expense that is ordinary and necessary qualifies as a business deduction. Write that down. Ordinary and necessary. And guess who decides what's ordinary and necessary? If you said I do, you're absolutely correct. Again, thank you, folks. Have a great day. May God bless you and your family. And let's not forget to be thankful for so many blessings living in America. And let's pray for the president, the governor, the mayor, the county commissioners, and everyone who governs over us, because these folks really need our prayers. So hopefully they will gain the wisdom from God's word to do the right thing. To do the right thing. But ladies and gentlemen, let's not wait on them. Let's us do the right thing. And let's all work to have a better community. God bless you. Thank you again for watching another episode of Let's Talk. And don't forget, you can watch a replay of this either on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. Take care. God bless you. Have a great rest of the week.